SBU is the Spina Bifida Association's new viral education program. Our goal is to bring the world's best care providers and resources directly into your home. SBU is the only free webinar series dedicated solely to the educational, employment, social, self-advocacy, and health needs of people with spina bifida. We hope that you will enjoy today's presentation, strive for success, and that you take time to complete the evaluation at the close of the presentation.
My name is Jessica, and I work for the Spina Bifida Association of Western Pennsylvania. And we're going to talk about the Strive for Success program. It's a vocational program that we run in our area. Strive, this is what it stands for: Skills, Training, and Rehabilitation for Individual Vocational Enhancement. So it's an acronym that we created for our program. This is what Strive is. It's designed to provide individuals with spina bifida and related disabilities with the training and support needed to understand their own strengths and weaknesses, to develop realistic goals, and to have an understanding of how to develop strategies in employment and community-based settings. These are the overall objectives of the program. To increase self-awareness through exploration of strengths, to develop appropriate career and life goals, to increase skills for job searching, applying, and interviewing, increase the ability to maintain competitive employment, and to provide a basis of knowledge. In our program currently, it's only about 2 years old. We have had about 25 participants, and probably 20 of them currently are holding down a job or at least a volunteer experience. So we provide them with 3 phases. That they come into the classroom for 2 of those. They come down to our facility for classes for phase 1 and phase 2, and phase 3 we go out into the community with them for job coaching. These are more objectives for the program. It's to help strategize for effective memory planning, problem solving, time management, personal care, hygiene, and social skills. These are all problems that our individuals will face in the job world. So we've created lessons on each of these areas. These are the outcomes. Basically, our biggest outcome is for them to have successful employment and for them to hold down a job for longer than 1 year. Some people may only work 1 day a week, but we will provide them with 1 year of job coaching after they complete the sessions or the phases. And we will, if there's funding available, we'll provide them with longer than 1 year. So these are obstacles that our individuals will face. Healthcare and self-care problems. A lot of individuals need accessible bathrooms. They have to cath every 3 hours, every 4 hours. Their breaks are only 15 minutes if they work for a 4-hour shift. So sometimes that doesn't coincide with your work schedule. Time management and task prioritization skills are a problem. Impaired memory, delayed social skills, poor self-understanding and self-monitoring skills. And these are all job qualities that everyone needs to keep a job. So I'm going to go through each one of those a little bit. Inadequate time management and task prioritization skills are the inability to manage time effectively. If you're given a task at work, you need to be able to complete that within the time frame that you're given, or your boss might not be happy with you. The inability to prioritize tasks that need to be done in an orderly fashion. So sometimes we'll give them a task that is 2 or 3 steps, and they can only complete the first step without you going back to tell them the second step. Our healthcare and self-care problems, they often lack the understanding of problem-solving skills necessary for consistent attendance, punctuality, and acceptable work appearance. On with that one, transportation is a lot of times the problem. We, for our program, we have in Pittsburgh, we have a public transportation that will come door to door for them, so we're able to work with that agency to get them to and from work. But it's not always on a timely fashion. They can be 20 minutes early, they can be 20 minutes late. If you're not there when they come, they can leave. So our participants won't just not go to work without calling. So sometimes that solves the problem. The most significant obstacles are odor, absenteeism, and missed work or activity reduction. Their impaired memory is the inability to organize auditory input and not memory damage. They have a delayed social skill development, so results in behavior that's immature or irresponsible that most other people would think they were immature and irresponsible when they really just have not developed the skills they need. I'm not going to read the cognitive limitations, but those are the cognitive limitations that we have with our individuals. Here's some more limitations that impact the workplace in the following ways. They may say inappropriate things based on the situation. So at lunchtime, someone may say that someone looks like a pig while they're eating. They may complete a task and socialize before asking to do something, so that may cause a problem in the workforce. They don't have good communication skills, making good eye contact when interviewing or even on the job. They may take extended breaks or get off task because of socialization happening elsewhere with customers or with other employees. And they may not ask questions. If they don't understand, they'll just sit there and wait until someone comes over and helps them problem solve. Poor self-understanding and self-monitoring skills. This results in confusion for them. So they may not understand a comment that the supervisor might give them on their performance. Lack of information about appropriate, reasonable accommodations. So each facility that someone works there, they can help with some reasonable accommodations, but our individuals don't always know what accommodations are available for them. So we'll help them to to find out what things might help them be more successful in their job. So these are the people that will be served in Western Pennsylvania. Individuals with spina bifida and related disabilities. Primarily, disability is not a mental health or mental retardation. Their IQ needs to be at least 75 or higher. Those in need of vocational preparation, including but not limited to career exploration, goal development, job searching, accommodations, job maintenance, and development of compensatory skills. 18 years or older, and some kind of transportation. Access is the transportation that we use in Pittsburgh. It's the Port Authority transportation. Sometimes school districts, once a child reaches the age of 18, will send their child to our vocational program, and they'll provide the transportation to and from the Phase 1 and Phase 2. So this is the curriculum. There's 3 phases. The Phase 1 is assessment and pre-vocational and cognitive skills. So all the lessons are based upon those areas. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are both in the classroom setting. Phase 2 is vocational workshops and job searching. And Phase 3, we continue to follow them for up to 1 year, job coaching, and giving the employer some support. And we advocate for their needs. So Phase 1, not everyone starts with Phase 1. They have to meet these criteria to come into the phase one part. So it's for individuals at the beginning stages of their vocational journey. It's 3 days a week for a period of 8 weeks, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the purpose is for individuals to learn the basic pre-vocational skills. So these are the objectives. Our lessons are all based upon these, 15 or so objectives. And each week or each day we'll focus on a different one of these areas in the classroom. We have, I'm the teacher, you could say, and then we have an assistant that can help them use the restroom and that kind of stuff. These are the objectives: setting realistic goals, time management, planning strategies, motivation and initiation, attention strategies, social awareness, personal presentation, communication, brain functioning, problem solving, self-awareness, memory, and organization. And these are all areas that we find that our individuals need some help with to maintain a job. Some people come into phase 2 without doing phase 1. And phase 2, after you complete phase 1, you go right into phase 2. And these are for individuals that already have the basic skills to maintain employment, but are in need of more course and training. This is 2 days a week for 8 weeks, and this is usually Tuesday and Thursday. And the purpose is to learn the skills needed to obtain and maintain a job. So during this phase, we focus on vocational assessments that some of them may have done in school, but we do some other assessments with them. We have some assistive technology that may help them in the job world that we can, depending on what their interests are, they can learn how to use those, that technology. We teach them about self-awareness, their personal learning style. They do a vocational project, so each one of them will come up with 3 different areas in which they would like to work in, and they have to go out and job coach and learn and interview somebody that does that job. And then they present it and do some public speaking within the classroom. We do some ADA reasonable accommodations and teach them what reasonable accommodations may be for each job that they may go into. We do some resume building skills and help them build a resume. A lot of times we'll just help them apply for jobs online because most of resumes are obsolete now. You just apply online. So we'll help them apply online, teach them how to do a job search online. We do explain the Social Security issue. A lot of people are worried about if they get a job, what happens to their Social Security. So we have a whole slideshow. We have someone that comes in and talks to them about Social Security and what benefits they may lose. They have to make a certain amount of money before they start losing any of their Social Security. And if they have a permanent disability, which Spina Bifida is, they will not lose their Medicaid or Medicare, so they don't have to worry about that unless you make an obsolete amount of money. We'll do some interviewing with them. We do mock interviews, teach them how to have eye contact with individuals that are doing their interviews. We have a special room that's no distractions and some prompts on the wall for them. And then we'll teach them how to maintain a job. So this is phase 3. Phase 3 are those who have completed phase 1 or phase 2. What we'll do is once they have found a job, we'll work with their work schedule. And we'll continue, it says up to 6 weeks, but we'll go up to a year, helping them in the job. So someone will go with them and prompt them on their tasks that they may need. For example, Walmart has a greeter. A lot of our participants are Walmart greeters, and now you have to, when you go in and you have a return, the greeter has to be the person to use the scanner. Well, our participants will use it the first time, but forget the next time. So we'll be there to help them to remember how to use those things. If OVR, which is the Office of Vocational Rehab, will pay for them to have a longer period of job coaching, then will continue their job coaching for a longer period of time. Some people will call when they get a new job. So maybe they have a year for a job for 6 months, and 6 months later they find a new job. We'll job coach them for another 6 weeks. So every job that they obtain will give them at least 6 weeks of job coaching. These are the objectives. Full-time employment isn't always feasible with their Social Security and with their health care needs. But we'd like to see some people get full-time jobs. Part-time or volunteer experiences are also with that. Job maintenance, employer support. So we'll go in and give presentations to the employees and the supervisors on spina bifida and what their needs are so that they can help meet those needs of the individual that is their employee now. The job coaching. And then they learn some self-confidence and independence while doing a job. These are the results expected at conclusion. I'm not going to read them to you, but basically they'll have improved in their function of life. Their quality of life will be different, and they will each do a program satisfaction survey on what they thought of the phases and the separate lessons. They'll each have a vocational portfolio that they can have created with their job interest surveys, with their resume, those kind of things. So follow-up, we'll continue with job coaching. There's a support group that they meet usually on Fridays because we don't have the classes a little shorter on Fridays, so they'll have a little support group and they'll meet with the executive director and talk about the program and what kind of needs they have. And then job club, we have a vocational coordinator that will be the person that does the job coaching. She, because of the dynamics of the program, I can't follow everybody and be at everyone's job and teach the program. So we have a coordinator that will continue to follow up with each one of them at their jobs. Even if they do not need a job coach or they're through that period of time, we still follow them. We still know their schedules. We still pop in to see them and see how things are going. We talk to their managers to see how things are happening at their job so that we know their success. So the program was probably started, I'm only new. I only started about a month ago with this program. So I don't know the whole specifics, but it started about 2 years ago on a pilot program, and there was a grant that was designed to run the program. And after the success rate was a certain amount, they would continue the grant. So that's what happened, and they hired a full-time person. We've had pretty big success rate compared to what we used to have in our area, at least. The Spina Bifida Association of Western Pennsylvania has a life skills residential living program. And from that program, some people will come over to the Strive program. So we were able to tie in with that before we needed to have any, before we had to go out into the community and search for individuals. So the struggle right now is finding enough individuals that can come into the program and do the program, I guess. So we've opened it up to other disabilities and some, schools. We just don't want them to have a mental health or an IQ lower than 75. We have a little classroom. There's 6 computers. They all have assistive technology. It's an accessible building. We have an accessible bathroom. So they usually come from 9 to 2. We have a lunch period from 11:45 to 1, and that's where they can socialize with individuals in the program and also, just play around on the computers and I can do some other work. What else? Is there any questions? Yeah. Oh, hold on. We need a microphone. Okay.
My first question is, can parents request these, or how do they find out, like through the high school ages? You know, like for kids that are like 16, 17 to, you know, want to be going out and getting a job, or if they do, like we have a program in our state where it's from 18 to 21 that help kids that didn't quite complete high school or need extra help. So how do the parents find out, through the school district, or?
That's what we do. We go into the different schools and tell them what our program is. We work with the special education departments and tell them that this program is available for individuals with disabilities.
And then my second question is, do you provide classes for people that want to get certified, like in daycare, or do you help kids find schools? Because some of our adults can't quite get into colleges because of their disability with reading and stuff.
Right. We have an educational coordinator as well that will help the individuals to, find those programs. Also, all of our individuals are assigned someone from the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, a case manager that will help them to do all those things. So a requirement for both our Gatehouse program and our Strive program is that they have an OVR counselor. And we work with them to help find them those programs.
Or how is, like, we call it a DVR, Development of Vocational Rehab. How is it here? Because our state stinks.
Well, in Pittsburgh, I really don't know the answer to that question. I have all my individuals do have a counselor, and are given amount of dollars to complete programs, to continue with programs, and I think, I can't quote you on that, I could get the answer for you though, that we have somebody at the Gatehouse that refers them to Office of Vocational Rehab. Sometimes the schools will already have done that if it's in your IP.
You mentioned Gatehouse. Do most of your participants come from Gatehouse?
Mm-hmm.
Are you housed within the Gatehouse, or where is your facility?
The Gatehouse is off-site. Our, what would you call, corporate office, I guess you could say, is probably like 3 miles down the road in Cranberry, and our Gatehouse is in Wexford. So it's about 3 miles.
And then is all your funding through OVR?
Currently it is. Each person gets an amount of dollars. We have a rate of about $20 an hour for the program through OVR. We do have a line item in the state budget right now, but it's still in Harrisburg, so we haven't received that yet. So once that comes through, then each person might not have to have an OVR counselor or funds.
And then do you work with your local clinic to recruit?
We do work with our local clinic. Yes and no.
Anybody else?
Thank you. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the way in which you facilitate learning as you're, especially in the early stages, really learning those basic skills. If they're lecture, you talked about using PowerPoint at one point, but could you talk a little bit about, whether it's experiential and how they do that?
Well, each lesson, I haven't taught any lessons yet, so I'm revamping those a little bit. Previously, the Strive manager, whatever the title is, she had PowerPoint presentations and pretty much just lectured to the individuals. I have revamped those a little bit. They still have a PowerPoint, but each lesson has a interactive piece to it where they can go online, and there's some learning piece to it that they have to work with their peers, or they have to do some kind of interactive thing online, or we'll play a game. What else? That's all I've really created so far. As far as the lessons that we have. If anybody was interested in the lessons, I could email each of the lessons to you. Each lesson also has a follow-up worksheet or some kind of piece that can help them to jot down the information that they learned from each of the lesson. At the end of each day, we have a little journal that they write in what they learned, what they don't remember, and what they need more practice on. And then the next session, we'll read those before we continue our lesson. So that was pretty short. I'm very new to the program, so I was just told to do the presentation from my organization. So I created what was already done for me and just kind of read off. So if anyone has needs any information about the program, my email address is on there. And our website is pretty interactive, and you can find out about all the programs in Western Pennsylvania that we offer to our individuals. Yes?
Are you state funded, or are you through grants?
Mostly grants and private donors.
Okay. Because, I mean, trying to think of maybe starting something up like this in our state.
Right.
We have a bunch of adults that parents just don't know what to do. And it's just hard.
Right. Our very first pilot part was a grant that was given through an anonymous donor or organization, and we only started with about 3 individuals for the pilot program, and they all came from our residential facility, and we were able to just transfer them. We had it right on site for them. So we were able to just create the program and just have those individuals available for the program. So now that the pilot's over, they funded part of it, but not all of it. So it probably just covers my salary right now and nothing else. So the use of the building and those kind of things are not in there. So we need OVR funds and private donations. Mm-hmm. Each person, she asked if OVR helps to fund the program. Each person will have funds, and they usually range between $1,000 and $2,000 per person, depending on what phase they started. And our OVR phases are different than our 3 phases that we have. So we bill at a different rate for each phase. We're looking to up that because to $40 an hour, just because of other agencies within the Pittsburgh area do charge a higher rate, and so we're looking to raise that to about $40 an hour for at least the job coaching part, because that's really time consuming for one person to go with a person one-on-one for a job. Any other questions? Okay, if you would like to email me, I could send you some more information. I could also send you guys some flyers that we have on our program. I was unable to find them whenever I was in the office by myself. So if you want some flyers on how we recruit and what we give to our schools. Thank you.
Thank you for attending this session. Because meeting your needs is important to us, we need your feedback on this presentation. Please take a few moments to complete our evaluation, which can be located by clicking on the Clicking Here hyperlink on your screen. It will only take a few clicks of your mouse to provide us information to make the SBU experience better for you and others. If you have any questions relating to SBU, please contact us at sbu@sbaa.org.